Will you be my dream? Will you be my dream?
Dream, will you be? Will you dream
my dream? Will you be my dream? Will you be my dream?
Will you be my dream? Will you be my dream? I'm in a dream right now.
Will you be my dream? 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 Will you be my dream?
Dream be my dream, my will be my dream. Dream be my dream, my will be my dream. Will you be my dream?
Will you be my dream? Will you be my dream? Will you be my dream? Will you be my dream? Will you be my dream? Will you be my dream? Will you be my dream? Will you be my dream? Will you be my dream? Will you be my dream? Hello and welcome back to the podcast so full of regret, not even your mother could bear to listen to it. You got your hosts.
I like that one.
You got your hosts. It's Billy Palmerter.
And it's Billy Palmerter.
It's Ryan James Carter.
Again, unfortunately.
Again, another
you know what they say?
Any guests.
You know what they say?
What do they say?
Another day, another dollar.
Another holler, Mr.
Boller.
Collar.
No, Boller.
Boller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's Mr. Boller?
Don't know. Let's crack on with this show.
Let's crack on. Now, you just heard the new hit single, Will You Be My Dream?
And the reason it's a hit single is because it's world famous.
It's world famous. About 4 people have just listened to it right now. And it's a little insight of what this podcast is going to be about. Because if any of you listen to these podcasts, you'll realise that in the last one, we were given a question from Tiffany Torres, and she wanted us to talk about our dreams, our achievements and all that. Okay. And we only got to answer half the question.
Yeah, so now we get to spend an hour just talking about dreams.
Just talking about the other half, which was
sit back, relax, and shut the fuck up.
The first half was about, like, what goals we wanted, what our dream was to achieve.
Bend it like Beckham.
Now the second half is about like actual dreams we've had when we've been snoozing away in our little beds at night time, and we're going to talk about that. But before we dive into
oh God, what?
Before we dive into that, let's.
Sorry, Karen.
That is actually just a little bit terrifying.
Just a little bit.
Ryan's got this new thing where
well, like, it made you giggle loads earlier, so I was like, I'm just gonna do it.
He burps.
Also exhales.
He exhales and almost like screams. He's almost like. It sounds like he's in pain. He sounds like he's having a problem, right?
It sounds like you're having a problem.
It sounds like he's having a problem. He burps, but at the same time he exhales like.
I just go.
Yeah, he makes that noise whilst burping, and it's like it's quite scary. We were playing Monopoly earlier.
I nearly threw up earlier. We were eating cheesecake, and I nearly fucking spewed. Yeah. I'm not even kidding.
What, when you did that, or just in general?
Just like I think it's because I was eating cheesecake and laughing at the same time. Because your laugh sets me off.
Yeah, it's good.
It does. No, well, sometimes it is.
Yeah.
But mate,
before we get into our dreams,
before we snuggle up and spoon the night away,
let's have a look.
Sorry.
At the last podcast. I'm holding your hand with one hand.
No, I just wanted a brief touch.
He held my hand, one of my hands, with both of his hands.
You know what they say? A brief touch is enough.
You know what they say? Yeah, that's it. And I'm looking now.
You ever sucked on a honeycomb sickle?
Well, I'm looking. Not both of our eyes, just mine.
Hold up. You can't.
In fact, we can both. Now we're both looking.
Why haven't we done this before? This is like revolutionary.
But we're looking at the previous podcast, and we're looking at the comments that are on this podcast.
So by that you mean we're looking at Tiffany Torres' Twitter feed?
Yeah, basically, yeah. We're just looking at what Tiffany Torres.
Because let's face it, all she does is flood it with her shit,
and we love it. We absolutely.
I mean, I don't know.
It's all right.
I don't know.
Let's dive right in.
Sorry, Jeremy's with us again.
Yeah, Jeremy. In fact, we do have a guest. It's Jeremy the Ulse. He was here last time.
Yeah.
Jeremy
He'll
the
appear
Ulse.
when he just wants to.
Wait, before we get into anything, I've had a thought.
Fucking
I've had a
hell.
thought, and I wanted to talk about this.
Oh my god.
I thought
So
about- I
before
thought-
we get into our dweam talk, we're going to go to comments. And before we go to comments, we're going to go to our horse talk.
Let's backtrack.
What a load of horse shit. You fucking
Basically,
idiot.
I've had this thought. Now,
Right, that's nice. Let's
I was
get on
ha-
with the
I was
comments.
I was having this thought the other day. Well, quite a while ago, in fact, I had this thought. But just the other day, I just came across the idea of it in my head randomly again, and thought, you know what, I want to talk about this on the podcast.
Right.
Now, I'm just throwing this out there. I have dabbled in the Tindle.
You have?
The Tindle.
So have I.
I've had a little. I've had a.
You've had a swipey swipes.
I've had a few swipes.
So have I.
On the Tinder.
Yeah.
And one of those things, one of the things I noticed, and it sort of, it bothered me deep in my soul. Right.
Deep in my heart, I
This-
know. I still love you.
Basically, what it is that this app
Yeah.
is people use it for different things.
Oh yeah.
Like some people use it because they want to fuck.
Some people use it for butt stuff.
Some people use it just to have a chat with people, and I kind of honestly was like, at the time when I was using it, I was like, I sort of just want to chat to people.
Yeah, because if I'm honest, I only use it to compare hemorrhoids.
Well, basically, sort of, people use it for different things. I sort of was like, you know what, I kind of want to chat to new people.
We're talking about Tinder, by the way, in case you didn't catch
yeah,
that, because
Tinder.
I feel like you just said
Tindle.
and then we went on from that, and I just assumed everyone heard
yeah.
it. We're talking about the app Tinder.
But it's a dating app, basically. That's
Is it?
essentially what it's for, and what it was made for was so that people can like each other and then match, and then they talk. Then maybe they go on
And
meet
then-
up, they go on some dates,
and then butt
potentially. And the idea is basically that you kind of want to find somebody to go on dates with,
Yeah.
or become a couple, or whatever. That's
Yeah.
the premise of the app itself. But people use it for different things, whatever. But one thing I noticed.
Sorry, God.
That
I'm just
is
wondering-
terrifying.
One day it's just gonna projectile vomit.
You're
And
just
I'm
gonna
not
vomit
gonna be-
everywhere.
I'm not going to be able to control it.
Dear.
I'm sorry. One day you said you're on Tinder.
And basically what it is so the idea of the app
Yeah.
is that so for anyone who's not used it before, here's a few facts about it. You can link up your Instagram to it so people can see your Instagram pictures, but some people don't do that, some people do, but basically there's 6 slots on there for pictures.
For photos, yeah.
You can have 6 photos on there of yourself. Only 6. And so this is an app where you want people to press the like button on you. You want people to go, oh, that person... But as shallow as it seems, you want people to be like, oh yeah, that person's attractive.
It's
Because
that's the thing with Tinder. You swipe on
off
their
looks,
looks,
yeah.
and then you find out what their personality is like.
Yeah. If you match, then you talk
Yeah.
to them, and then you'll find out about them. You can write a little bio. Not everybody does that, or even if
Yeah.
you write a bio, that doesn't really tell you too much.
Yeah,
about
mine.
the
I mean,
person.
mine just says butt stuff.
Yeah. Which is why I pressed like when I went for you, but you obviously didn't return it because we didn't match.
Shit, I haven't actually checked my Tinder, so
well.
maybe you just haven't swiped.
Well,
Hang on, let's just stop the podcast.
and let's just
Pull down your pants
But,
and get straight to the butt stuff.
but
I'm
my,
sorry,
my
baby boy.
point is that like
You have a point.
Sam has a
No,
point.
Billy has a point.
Billy has a
He's
point.
getting there. We trust us, guys. He's getting there at some point this afternoon, this evening, this morning.
You want you basically you want to put your pictures on there, and you kind of want pictures of you that one show you,
Yes.
and then also
That's what most
okay,
pictures
makes
of you
you
do.
look good.
Yes.
Ones where you're like, oh, I look all right in that one. I'll put it up there. People, it has a good representation of you.
Yeah.
And if you don't like yourself, then maybe you want one that sort of makes you look a bit better and all that. I'd seen so many people, and so there's 6 pictures basically before you like or dislike or swipe left or right, whatever one it is. You can tap on their profile and have a look through those 6 pictures before you decide. Most people don't bother; they just tap at the first one. So going off of that, tapping at the first one, so many people have pictures of them as their first picture, and they're on the back of a fucking horse.
Really?
Right? So here's a big thing about you. You like horses. I can see that.
That's
You're
true.
riding an horse. You probably own an horse. Or
An horse.
You own an horse, you go down to stables, you ride horses. That's lovely.
I can't
Not
take
for
you
me.
seriously.
I'm not fussed if you like horses. That's not gonna stir me away from you if you like horses. I personally don't. I'm not a fan of horses. But if you like horses, whatever and stuff,
Yeah.
right? So that's one. I don't really like horses. So if you're on the back of an horse,
We've established you don't like
not
horses.
everybody's trying. You know, it's not
Yeah.
all about me. Not
No.
everybody's trying to look good for me.
Who does give a shit about
Right?
you?
Yeah. So that's just one point about it.
Right.
A second point is that you're on the back of an horse. They're far away. The person taking the picture is miles away.
Yeah.
Not miles away, but you know,
We're
they're
talking
quite a bit away.
tens of hundreds and thousands of miles away.
We're talking like you're on the back of a fucking horse. I'm not going to stand right in front of it and take a picture.
What
of
are we
you
talking,
because
tummy aches?
The horse is. What are we talking? Horse aches?
Horse
What are we
aches?
talking about? Tesco beef burgers.
Probably. Let's be honest.
Well,
Fucking
there was
hell.
that thing that came out
I know.
that had a little bit of horse.
We
in it.
are tanginating.
So basically, they're on the back of an horse. The picture's from far away. They're wearing not the most flattering clothes because you're on the back of an horse. You're horse riding. It's not the most flattering thing. You're wearing this helmet on, so nobody can really see you properly. But then even the parts of you that you can see, you're sweaty and your hair's all. And I'm just like, why? Of all the pictures, you choose to like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what? People are gonna like me in this one.
Yeah.
I'm on the back of an horse. That's my
I tell you
entire
what, though,
point.
the good thing about it when the people are riding the horses is
Yeah.
you can see them better compared to when the horses are riding them.
Oh yeah.
Because you know, there's.
obviously.
Have you been on Binder?
I have not.
Oh, it's the bestiality.
Oh,
version
okay.
of
I'll look
Tinder.
into that. Yeah.
I wouldn't. I mean, it's. I don't own the app. Trust me.
Oh, okay.
I don't
So
own
I won't give it a good rating on iTunes. On the.
I
App
mean,
Store.
it's up to you.
Um,
It's just a hobby.
I won't give it a good review at all.
It's just a hobby. It depends if you're into that stuff. I
Yeah.
can hook you up with some lemurs, some camels.
I thought you didn't own the app or
Sorry,
have
it's-
anything
No, I'm
to do with it.
Carrot. What was your
So
point?
fucking horses, basically.
How many times have you already said horses in this podcast?
I just like saying horses. I hate horses, but my point is.
Oh
is
my
that
god!
When,
Sorry, I'm going to stop you right there. Genuinely, you have said. Basically, my point is.
the thing is, right, Ryan.
Shut up! I'm
is,
trying.
no. Is that you won't let me just come out with it. So I have to keep repeating it. So I feel satisfied it's out.
thing. That is the
So
Billy thing.
technically, it's all your fault. And basically, what it is
It's the beginning of the end, guys.
it's the start of the end.
The I'm Real Sad podcast is coming to an end.
Surrender the
We've
throne.
hit the year mark, the annual mark. It's all
We've
gone,
almost made it to the year,
it's all-
apparently.
it's all gone tits up.
Just don't put the first picture on a dating app
Of you riding a
yourself.
horse. Got it.
Riding an horse, because nobody can see what you really look like.
Got it.
And I'm just going to go, nah.
No,
Like,
no, mate.
why?
No.
Nah, I'm
Right.
fine. Okay?
Yeah.
That was it. That was my entire
Okay.
point. That was a thought I had a long time ago and thought, oh, I can talk about that on a podcast.
On a
On a
podcast.
podcast. Comments. Wait.
What are they?
So I've talked about that for at least 10 minutes.
Fucking hell. I'm
We
sorry,
have a
guys.
comment.
We have a comment.
We have a comment.
You mean comments from Tiffany Torres?
No, well, we do have comments from Tiffany Torres, but I'm not talking about her yet.
All right.
I'm talking about Kira B.
Oh god.
Kira B, Kira Baker. Come on down.
She is a baker. Do you know that?
Is she a baker?
She has a
or
black belt
she
in
cuts-
aproning. She has a black
She
apron.
cut cheese and meat.
No, she has a black belt. She
In
has a black
baking.
apron.
Oh.
So that's like.
Oh,
that's,
so
that is literally
Is she
like.
on Bake Off though? She's not on Bake Off.
No, she's way better than that lot.
No,
No, seriously. So you got a black belt in karate, right?
Yeah.
You have not seen anything until you have a black apron.
Apron.
And I'm telling you, this black apron Exactly. Jeremy, shut up. I don't know. Why do you have a horse?
I don't know. Why is there an horse in it?
Don't know. Anyway, carry on. What does she say?
She says, Ryan... You fucking arsehole.
It's the one thing I have to wind you up, which is so good. Okay,
look, this naughty naught right here has gone and said.
She's just a person.
Ryan leaving the room gave me an idea.
Right.
Please, Kira, in this...
Wait, that was it?
Yes, that was it. That was the entire comment.
Okay.
So please, Kira, in this next podcast, and the one you're listening to right now...
Carry on your sentence.
let us know what that idea was, because we've got no idea. You do, but we've got no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You have an idea, but we don't know what that idea is.
She even put full stop, dot, dot, dot?
No full stop. But it's got 2 likes on it. The comment's got 2 likes on it, so it's
probably the I'm Real Sad podcast liked it and Kira liked it as well.
And I liked it on my Yelib one as well, probably.
So that's a step. That's we've talked and we.
Hello Kitty Obsessed 96.
Here we fucking go.
Says, when Ryan left the room, the podcast was actually enjoyable.
She actually said that.
She did.
Do you know what? I don't read the comments because it's more fun to do when
for you to react.
When I say fun, I mean like enjoyable. You know how most people would associate fun things being nice and enjoyable.
Yeah.
When you get comments like this, it makes you realise that maybe you shouldn't have a podcast. You know? Hello Kitty Obsessed 96.
Well, she said it was enjoyable.
69.
So there's no problem there.
There is because she said when I walked out the room, it was enjoyable.
But then he came back, is what she then asked.
And then what did she say?
She says, right, let me just give it to you.
Beg your pardon?
When Ryan left the room, the podcast was actually enjoyable. Then he came back.
Wow.
I've always called it Canada.
Oh, for fuck. Why? Why?
It's Canada and they're Canadians.
No, it really isn't.
I think being in a band would be really cool, but I'm like Billy. I don't know how to play any instrument and I don't have the patience to learn. I had 1 guitar lesson when I was younger, and I never had one ever again. I don't know why.
This isn't the comment, this is you talking,
No, this is me talking.
Okay.
Me and Charlie both went to
Charlie
someone's house.
is Billy's little boy.
He's 11'sby.
He's 11'sby.
Me and Charlie went to some guy's house, and he gave us a guitar lesson.
Just random guy's house.
Yeah, and I assumed it was going to be like, oh yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll do it like once a week. And he just never went back.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know what's going on. What happened there? Ryan, you've just gone and spilt coffee all down your leg. What have you done?
Fuck's sake!
Right, you wait there. You wait there. I'll go get you a tissue.
Oh, fuck's sake.
What has he done?
Guys.
Goodness gracious.
How did I manage that? I didn't even move.
I looked at you and you suddenly had coffee.
You have that effect on me, Billy.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm dying inside. I just spilt coffee. This is the first time Billy's walked out of the room. Guys, why don't you all leave your fucking comments saying how good it is when Billy leaves the room. Oh, look, he's come back now.
Oh, look, I'm back, guys. Not to worry. No
not for long,
worries. If Ryan's gone and spilt coffee on himself, guys, like, who does he think he is? Some kind of... Ugh.
Yeah, because I totally meant to do that.
Oh.
I don't even know how it... I've got these big claws growing out my feet at the moment.
So... Yeah, we had me and Charlie both had a guitar lesson, and then we just never went back. So that's why.
Do you think it's maybe because the guy was a serial killer and he can't stay in one place for too long?
Maybe that's a possibility. Right. Now we're on to the Tiffany Torres.
I mean, you might be. I ain't finished with Hello Kitty.
Well, you have your say now.
My say, more of like a opinion.
I have this conversation that you and Hello Kitty Obsessed like to have via podcast and comment. You give her your reply to this conversation.
Hello Kitty Obsessed.
I was going to say it longer, but I started laughing.
Wow. Oh God. For you listening at home.
And then I had a burp come up.
Billy just deep throated his coffee. I ain't talking about the mug, I'm talking about the liquid.
So, go on then.
Look, I don't understand where all this sass is coming from. Who started the sass out of us two?
Probably you.
But why probably me? Just because I have a voice on this podcast?
Wait. I'm going to go back to
episode 1.
To episode 1 and see who started being sassy first.
Oh, I think I probably know why.
Right, let's go in the comments of episode 1.
Why?
Okay, she didn't comment on that one.
Okay!
Episode 2. Shut up. Episode 2. She also didn't comment on.
So she's only
Episode
started listening
3.
for like the last couple, really.
Episode 3. Episode 3, she says, "Wow, this is a long one. I like it."
Beg your pardon?
So there was no sass there from anyone. Episode 4.
I think I know where it started though.
What?
It's because I said her name was 69 and she
That's
defended
what
herself.
I reckon it is. Yeah, and
But she can't deny the
It's all a
truth.
spiral.
It is your family. You're so right. I was quoting Star Wars.
Oh, here's where it is. It's not too much sass, but it's like
She take a dig at me
she
though.
called me Billington,
Oh, that's it.
so I had a nickname and you didn't, so that you got sad about that.
No.
Well,
No. It was. I was sad at the fact that your nickname was Billington. Not that I didn't have one. Jeremy.
and then and then she said, "Ryan, do not abuse any cats. That is a bad idea." So
Oh, because we talked about throwing the
and
cat
then
out the
and
window.
then you threw sass back at her for
As well as a cat.
as well as a cat, and then you mentioned the 69 thing. So that's I think you two. That's why you two have got like.
Okay, well,
you know,
look, here's
you-
my point. Hello Kitty Obsessed 69. Right? There are people on this planet, right? There are people that walk among this earth who, you know, are blessed with just being nice from birth. They're just people who are sort of genuine, very kind, down to earth, right? You're not one of them, mate. Alright? Because you decide to just start shit unnecessarily. And I'm here supporting our fandom, all two of you, with a nice commentary. 50-50 effort between me and Billy. Don't you dare ever give me shit again in the comments, or I tell you what, I will leave and this podcast will not be enjoyable.
So when she's on the podcast in 2 weeks' time,
She's not.
yeah, she's gonna be on the podcast in 2 weeks.
She's
time.
America.
She's a guest.
She's in America.
Yeah, and we're gonna fly her out, and she's gonna
I'll fly her back out.
She's gonna quest on the podcast, and you two are gonna make up. You're gonna have a big hug,
Oh, I don't know about that.
And
I
you're
can't make
gonna-
any promises.
and you two love each other really.
Yeah, we've actually been dating now for 17 years.
For 17 years.
Considering I'm 21, it's
Yeah.
been a good
So
run.
You were 4.
We've actually had an argument, that's why we're being a bit sassy towards each other.
Well, that's what it is. So this is all in secret. Is what's been going on.
And 96 was our lucky number, so I just like
So
to
you
flip
like
the
to
number
flip it
because it
because
makes me it reminds me of.
It makes you sad hearing
Yeah,
that number, so you
yeah.
like to change it up. Well,
Who am I
Tiffany
kidding?
Torres
Yeah, let's
says
go.
Ryan should have stayed out of the
Oh my
Billy.
God.
It's like
What? Is that
Wait.
literally what it was?
okay.
Or did
she
you read it
says,
wrong?
Like no, I don't know. Oh, I get it. Right, I had to read it. So I have to read things in my head before I read them out loud, or else it doesn't work. Ryan should have stayed out of the ... Billy, it's like you fucking knew what I was going to say. It was because in the last podcast, when you left, you said,
Right.
"Oh, I want Tiffany to be like, no, Ryan, don't go." And then I said, "Nah, she'll probably be like, Ryan should have stayed or whatever."
Okay, right.
And that's what she's saying. And then she also says, "And I'm fucking Mexican. I hate you guys. Ha 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 ha!" All in caps.
Jesus.
And that's true. You are Mexican. Billy, you make my life amazing. That's what she said.
And the next one was Ryan, you make my life
And then
amazing,
the next
wasn't
one was, everyone already knows I'm a little bitch.
it? Right.
Then the next one was, I'm sorry, I like spam. I can't read.
Are you alright?
I'm sorry, I like spam the comment section. Ha ha ha. I love this fucking podcast. Legit. The moment I woke up, I realised it was Wednesday, and this was the only shit I was thinking about. Then she says, hip hop happened was ha 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 ha. Then she says, my eyes are closed, I swear, because you told everyone to close their eyes.
Oh, yeah.
I actually wasn't expecting that from Ryan. I like how, like, you think, like, my dad, that's, like, his
You're just saying
paradise
words now.
that sounds nice and relaxing. Oh my god, Billy, yes as shit. I always wanted to be a drummer in a band, lol, and working at a supermarket is the dream. Ha ha ha, fuck that. So, that's Tiffany Torres' life story.
As per week, as per usual.
Now let's move on, shall we?
Let's.
let's move on. Let's talk
I
about...
tell you what, should we challenge Tiff
Yeah.
not to comment? Like, she's only allowed to do one comment from now on.
No, I like lots
I'm
of
kidding,
comments.
I'm just winding her up.
Oh, are you...
I'm winding her up.
She's got a little thing on her back and you wind it up.
I'm winding her up.
Wind it up,
Winding
and then
her
she
up.
does a little dance. It's like
What do you want to talk
toy.
about, boy? We want to talk about dweams.
We want to talk about dreams.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Well, Tiff wants to talk about dreams.
Okay,
apparently.
sure.
So, have you had any dreams recently that you can recall that you thought were a bit weird or a bit interesting?
I mentioned there's the two things I was going to bring up, and they're not like the same dream. They're just sort of similar, reoccurring dreams.
Yeah. See, this is the kind of shit that I think is the more interesting, most interesting to talk about is recurring dreams.
Right. So, on the way over here, I was telling you I had a dream that I was driving a car last night.
Yeah.
So obviously I don't drive at the moment. I do plan to in the future, but at the moment I don't. Are you alright?
I'm dying.
We're recording this podcast in a gas chamber.
Oh dear.
Is what I would say if it was.
If we were recording it in a gas chamber.
If we were.
Where are you going with that one, boy?
No fucking idea. There's me like thinking, how do I save this?
How do I make this?
Anyway, I keep having dreams, but I've had dreams in the past where I'm driving a car, and I don't drive, so it's very weird for me, and it's like very odd because I clearly own this car in my dream, and I'm driving down the road, driving somewhere I haven't been before, but I all of a sudden realise I forget how to drive or something, and I feel very unsafe because I'm behind the steering wheel. And I'm driving, and I'm like, shit, I need to reverse here, I need to turn this corner, and I'm like, in my dream, realising that I am not comfortable with what I'm doing. So that's a bit of a shock. I don't know why, I just randomly have some driving dreams like that sometimes. Sometimes they're awesome, sometimes they're weird.
This has made me just remember a dream that I had not too long ago, but a while ago. And it was weird because I was driving, but I was in the back seat. The steering wheel was in the front seat.
Kicking in the front seat, sitting in the back seat.
Exactly.
Did you see your friends?
Well, someone's hand was a dolphin.
Right, okay. Was this on Friday? Did you get down on Friday?
Oh, it's about 7 a.m.
Waking up. Yeah. Did you get your bowl? With your Cheerios?
I had to have some cereal.
With your cereal?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then basically, so I'm kicking in the back seat, steering wheel's in the front seat, but I'm driving the car, so I was like driving.
That's really weird.
I had my hands like wrapped around the front seat,
That's
grabbing,
scary,
somehow reaching the steering wheel. I take it, the pedals were in the back though. And I just don't know what was going on.
Do you want to try and talk with like without the burps interrupting? Because I feel like they're being a bit of a bitch right now.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling a bit gassy.
See, the way I like to do it is I like to build up a burp and just go ah!
And let it all out.
Let it fly out. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
I had a big itch in my ear hole there.
In your ear hole?
In my ear hole, there was an itch. You ever get it where you've got an itch in like your ear, either your ear or your nose, like.
That's why you go out in the garden and you go up to a tree branch and you just poke it in.
Yeah.
I
I just imagine like that, just feeling horrible. But you want to scratch it because it's itchy, and that's what you do when you got an itch. But you don't.
Is that what he does? He says he does.
You don't want to. You don't want people to think they do. You think they think that you're picking your nose, or you like getting earache out of your ear and like picking your ear, picking your nose, and all that. But it's like, no, I'm just itching it. It's itchy. It's got a scratch. I'm scratching it.
You sound like you're at an auction like right now. You're like doing a bidding war. You're like, hey, he's scratching his ears, getting his ears. What are you doing? Like you were at that tempo, basically.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? So
I mean, not necessarily good.
Well, I used to when I was younger. I haven't had this dream in a while, but I got this dream a few times.
No, you're kidding.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I'm totally kidding.
Seriously.
It was a weird sort of. It was this video game. It was like a Disney. I don't know what the game was, but it felt like it was basically the concept of it was if the villains won, and it was this computer game, and like I've got all these weird flashbacks to it. I remember this horrible one. It was like from like Dumbo, and it was the circus. and it was really hard. I don't know what you had to do in it, but like I remember it being difficult because I didn't really get what was going on. But it was
Dumbo's trippy as
it was
trippy
kind of
enough as
terrifying.
it
It
is.
was like this horrible circus scene. That's not even part of the dream. For now, I'm just explaining what the game was about.
Yeah.
And then there was a bit where you were Alice from Alice in Wonderland. You know the Queen is always like off with her head.
Yeah.
Basically, off with her head.
Jeez.
You were Alice without a head, and you were in a maze, and you were hearing the voice of your head, and you had to go around the maze to try and find it. Is what I can remember. I don't know if I'm remembering all of this right.
Welcome to the depths of Billy's sick mind.
It's just it kind of fucked me up when I was young because I think I'm like fucking like 7 or something.
Yeah.
Playing this game. I don't know. It's one of those really frustrating memories where like I don't know if I'm remembering it all right or if parts of it I'm making up.
Well, this is the thing. We saw there's a source of video I think recently where they were saying like memories from a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
become like you feel like you very certainly know about a dream,
but like it's very different to how it actually
like
was.
over the years.
It changes.
It changes, and you think of it a different way to how it actually was. So maybe it's something like that.
But this is just how in my head it is right now.
That sounds pretty crazy.
And
when did you last have this dream? Like, was it when you were younger?
I haven't had this dream in a long time.
And was that a recurring dream?
Well, I haven't even talked about the dream yet. This is just a game that I used to play.
Right, okay.
In fact, all of this could be possibly the dream. Maybe this game didn't actually exist. I feel like Charlie played it. I'm going to ask him about it if he remembers any of it.
Yeah. So, because at first, sorry, I thought you were actually talking about your dream. Because that sounds like a dream.
This was just basically a game basically this dream. Let me get my sentence right.
Don't cry.
This game is why I had the dream that I'm about to talk about.
Gotcha.
So this dream is fucking speak your words in your sentence. This game.
Yeah, this game.
The premise was the Disney villains have won, and all the different levels are about all that shit, and it's kind of fucked up. I think it was supposed to be a kids' game, but regardless. Thinking about it now, it was actually kind of fucked up for a kid to be playing. As an adult now, it's just kind of like, that's kind of fucked up, but like, not doing anything too much of it. But as a kid playing it, these, like, Disney films are supposed to be like, oh, for kids, and they're all joyous and stuff. For a kid playing this game, having watched all of these Disney films and being a fan of them and all that, you're now playing a game where it's all completely turned on its head and it's all fucked and like all this bad shit's happening. So it made me have this dream, and I remember the dream. It was like a point of view. Well, I guess most dreams point of view. But it was almost like I was floating around. It wasn't. It was almost like I was a ghost in the situation. I was just sort of like seeing it all, and I wasn't actually really there, but it was almost like the characters in it could sense I was there. But if anybody knows that old racist Disney film that my favourite Disney World ride is based off of, Splash Mountain, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the Brer Rabbit, and you know what I'm talking about? It's a fox and a bear and all this shit. But basically, the idea is they throw the rabbit into this thorn patch, or the rabbit jumps in the thorn patch or something like that to get away from the fox and the bear, but then the fox and the bear jump in, and obviously they're massive, so they get stung by all the thorns, but because the rabbit was small, he gets away or something, I don't know, some bullshit. And there's this massive thorn patch, and it's dark, and it's just so this is the start of the dream now. And it would be the same way every time, as if I'm watching like the same movie each time. It starts off, it's dark, it's just this massive, like almost a field, like a cornfield, but instead of corn, it's all just a massive patch of thorn bushes. And I come sort of floating up over the top of the thorn bushes and through, and then there's like, it's like a pub or like an inn or something. And the door sort of slowly goes open, and inside of this is every Disney villain you can imagine. The one I most vividly remember is, you'll like this one, the old woman witch lady from Snow White. And in fact, actually, now I remember it, all the people in the pub, they're normal, actually. They're pretty normal. It's just normal random characters. Then there's the old woman witch lady sitting in a stool. There's a table sort of behind her, but she's sort of like turned round, and she can... It's like nobody else notices me, but she can sort of sense I'm there. So she turns around, she sees, and there's this like... how do I explain it? Like a gutter, like drainage. It's not a drain, it's not a pipe, it's like the grates the thing. And there's green smoke coming out of it. It's on the floor, and there's this green sort of like misty smoke coming out of it. So I sort of float down and float through this grate, and in the floor under this is like the basement bit. That's where all the Disney villains are. And then it kind of stops, and I can't really remember much more than that of the dream. But that part of the dream I had a lot, and I just remember having that a lot when I was younger. It was just weird. That was it. Yeah? Are you alright? Are you okay? Ryan's just gone silent. What's up? I'm so confused right now. He's looking around. What's going on? Are you okay? What are you doing? Okay, so I've just explained this creepy dream that I used to have when I was a kid, and now Ryan is sat across from me, and he's not saying a fucking word. And I'm actually genuinely, like, really confused right now. Are you okay? You just nodding? Are you gonna say anything for the rest of the podcast? Ryan's got he's got, let me give you another little visual. Ryan's got a fucking machete in his hands as well. It's not a real one, it's a toy. But he's got that in his hand, and he's just not saying anything. And I'm really confused, I don't know why. Is this a bit? What's going on? He keeps looking around the room. And, okay, well, Ryan's dead in this podcast now. Have I just petrified him, like, from this dream, so he can't speak? What's going on? What's going on, baby boy? I'm confused. Yeah. You keep nodding at me, and now you're shaking your head. I don't... What's going on?
So look, I had a dream once, basically, that I was... this was a not a reoccurring dream. Well, it was a reoccurring dream when I was younger. But basically, I was in my bed, and you know the little squishy alien toys from Toy Story? You can't fucking do it to me. Basically, you know, like the claw machine. Basically, they would be at the bottom of my stairs, and I would be in my bedroom, and all of a sudden, you're really bad at this already, by the way. They would say at the bottom, and they go, "Ryan, we're coming, Ryan, where are you, Ryan, we're coming," and they would run up the stairs at me, and that would be the shortest dream, but that is literally what I'd have as a kid, and it terrified me, and I don't know why. By the way, Kira's comment was to trigger me doing that. That was like a whole bit that we'd set up. But I didn't know that you were going to try and do the same thing. So I think we're now going to have a silence off and see who wants to take this podcast any further. Because
right, you've literally ruined my entire life. I was genuinely just like, what the fuck is this boy doing?
I couldn't...
He's gone crazy.
The thing is, the whole idea was to do it until you felt uncomfortable.
I felt uncomfortable from the second you started. I was just like, are you gonna...
The thing is, I felt bad after a while because you probably either thought, one...
Well, I thought, well, this is a fucking shit podcast
this
now.
is not only is this a shit podcast, you probably thought, what have I done? Is Ryan actually pissed off? Or is something suddenly not okay? Is he actually upset? Or what's going on? Or is he just being a fucking douchebag?
I thought he was having a moment.
Yeah.
I thought that you'd literally just lost your mind.
And that
I thought you were
is why I
possessed.
didn't...
I thought you were possessed by a goddamn demon.
But I had to try and choose.
I thought that this dream that I'd had
Had made me
actually had...
stop everyone in the world from
it's
talking.
some kind of like Insidious shit where like it wasn't actually a dream. It was goddamn me entering the like in Insidious. You haven't watched it. You don't really like horrors. If anyone wants to watch it and hasn't yet, there's not really sort of spoilers. I don't know, but like either skip it or you probably it's not an old film, but it's like it's been out for a while, so you've probably seen it. If you wanted to see it, you would have seen it. This kid has dreams basically like of like dead people basically, but he doesn't know they're dead because he's just like, oh, I'm just having a dream or whatnot. But he's not actually dreaming. What it is he does this thing where he falls when he sleeps. It's called like astro walking or something.
Right. Is it like an out of body experience?
I don't know. Basically, yeah. But you basically go into the world of the dead.
Right.
And he's actually in that world. And all these people around him are dead and all that. And I thought, is this a dream that I had when I was a kid? It's not actually a dream I had. This was me entering the fucking world of the dead. And what's happened is me talking about it now has released one of these people, and they've now overtaken Ryan's body. And this is the kind of shit that was going through my head when you just
here's the thing.
when you had just suddenly gone weird
I
and
was like,
silent.
I could choose. I was either going to do it mid sentence, so I'd be in the middle of talking, and then I'd just cut off and then stop. But I wanted to do it so that it was a little bit more unnoticeable, so I didn't talk for a long time.
Yeah, I know, because I was like, he's not into... I thought that... Now,
Going back
now
and forth.
Now I'm thinking like, I thought that you were just really into what I was saying.
Well,
I thought that you just
was,
really got
and to be
into
honest,
my
I
dream.
listened more than usual because I'm always butting in.
And that's why when I couldn't think of the word of something, you were just like... Did you know what I was talking about?
Yes, you were talking about like a drain, like a... Are you talking about the bit on a curb? Like
on the curb, and there's
like a gutter that goes under the...
basically where all the water flows down.
Like it's like overflow.
Yeah, basically.
Sewer lines or whatever. But baby boy...
Yeah.
I did it because it was a bit.
It was a little bit.
And the reason Kira said that, she said, I'm just going to write something really like open-ended and stupid so that no one's going to get it. And the whole bit at the beginning where you were like, well, Kira, maybe tell us next week. I was sitting there like...
You're just like...
Yeah, what could that be? What could that be?
Well, you guys are the worst
Best
people
friends ever
in my life.
Okay. You stuck for words. I was a bit earlier.
You anyway, weren't you? But, so my dream, that was...
But that is fucking terrifying. It sounds cool.
Yeah. I think about it now, it was awesome because it's like a horror film and I love horrors. But at the same time, when you're a kid and you're having that dream, and it's not only it was a one-off thing. The fact that it was a reoccurring dream to me is like when I was a kid, like that game must have fucked me up.
Yeah.
Back when I played it when I was actually a kid, I probably thought this is awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't think this is scary.
To it that made
That's another thing is. I was on holiday, and you know, like people who dress up like statues and stand still. We were in, I think, Spain, and there was one of those people dressed up as a statue, and they were fucking terrifying. Thinking about it, they were terrifying, but at the time I wasn't scared of it. I was just like, oh, that's cool.
Well, it was a mirror.
Whale?
Whale? It was a whale in a mirror.
It was a whale in a mirror.
Whale?
At the time,
you literally looked to your right, and you were like, whale? Question mark?
and yeah, basically it was just this person dressed up as a statue.
Yeah. What did they look
really
like? Were they like a monster or just
no,
a statue?
just sort of a person. And I think that's what made it worse was that like they looked just sort of like a person.
Yeah.
And so wasn't scared of it when I actually saw it face to face when I was on holiday. I was just like, oh look, that person's dressed in something weird. But later that night, I had a fucking horrible dream.
Oh,
where
baby
it was
boy.
literally complete. All I remember is complete darkness and that thing.
Really?
Complete
That
darkness.
sounds like such a
I don't even
stereotypical
remember-
dream sequence.
I don't even remember what happened in the dream. All I remember was there was nothing but
Really?
darkness and that thing there with me.
It's really weird.
And that's it. I don't know what it was doing, if
Yeah.
it was moving or if it was trying to stay still as possible. And I was fucking terrified.
My dream about, I was actually being serious about the whole alien thing. The Toy
Oh
Story
yeah,
thing.
no, I remember because I
That-
remember you
yeah.
telling me about that before.
But like, it sounds so stupid and ridiculous even saying it.
Mm.
But I know how terrifying it was
Yeah.
when I had the dream. I don't know why. I always remember, like, because when I was a lot younger, I used to sleep with my door open and we had the landing light on because I would be afraid of the dark. Still am a tiny bit because who the fuck isn't?
Well,
But basically, when I was younger, and so
Wales?
I was like, my door is kind of at the top of the stairs, and we've got like this little step at the bottom of our stairs, and they all used to like huddle there basically, and I used to hear their voices, and they were just very like, it would take a long time for them to get up the stairs, but they were running fast.
yeah.
And imagine their voices, and they would just kept saying, "Ryan, we're coming, we're on our way, we're coming,"
Yeah.
and there was never a point where there was like never a resolution or something. It would always get to the point where I would just wake up.
Yeah.
They'd get to the top of the stairs and I wouldn't see them. I would just, but for some reason I'd know that it was the little toy aliens from Toy Story, the claw machine.
But the idea of it is like, oh, they're not scary. That's
Exactly.
They're silly. But it's the fact. It's what they're doing. It sounds so sinister.
Yeah. And I was going to say one more thing which is similar to that. I always had dreams about things coming up my stairs.
Stairs. I've not really had.
Why?
I've not had a dream about something coming up the stairs. But at night, the thing that scares me the most is my stairs.
But
It's
why,
when I
though?
go to the
It's like-
bathroom
yeah.
and I turn the bathroom light
Yeah.
on. All the other lights are off.
Yeah.
Turn on the bathroom light, so it's sort of I can sort of see into the hallway and sort of see the stairs.
Yeah.
I can't see the bottom of the stairs. I
Yeah.
can see the top of the stairs, and
guess
that's
that's-
it.
yeah.
The rest of it is just it's a stairway
I think
down
it's
into
because
complete
it's the,
darkness.
the transition from where you are to downstairs and the darkness. Anything could come out of it. and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. And I always imagine just the most horrifically terrifying looking
And your
thing.
brain specifically
And in my
wants
head,
yeah.
I can so clearly see it, and picture it,
Yeah.
just coming up the stairs at me. And
So my other thing was, and this was literally, it's almost like the same dream, just with a replaced villain almost. I used to. So my door, basically, see, I'm sleeping on my left hand side. My door would be opposite me. That was where my bed used to be, and my door would used to be open. Landing light was on, and I used to have like cuddly toys all up the side of my bed that I would all sort of line up next to me, and they would all sort of sleep there, and like loads of Beanie Babies and monkeys.
they
and
would go
whatever.
to sleep. They'd shut their eyes and
They would.
zonk
night.
out for the night.
Good night, Ryan. And I'd be like, good night.
They would kiss you good night.
Yeah, and they were all there. And bearing in mind, I don't know how old I was. I must have been like 4, 5, 6 maybe at the oldest. And basically I thought I was awake. It was one of those typical dreams where you think you're awake and then something really freaky happens and then you actually wake up.
Yeah.
And that happened to me in this specific dream. And basically, I looked over to my door and I could see like the light on and my toys next to me, or whatever. And I know this sounds stupid and really weird, but Jesus, and I'm saying Jesus, wielding a two-handed fire axe, like an axe, like a big axe, sort of
like battle axe.
glided into my door, sort of slowly from right to left, came in, and he threatened to cut all my toys up. I was like 5,
Yeah.
and I woke up and I must have had that dream like more than once, I think. But
Yeah.
the fact that I can still see it in my head how it was, that fucked me up once. There was another thing when I was in my room, and it was, like when you're younger, you go to bed a lot earlier and whatever, and in the summer, the sun's up for quite a lot longer, so it was still quite light in my room whilst I was going to bed.
Yeah.
And I had a dream that there was a hand I was sort of laying on my back and I was next to my wall, the wall's on my right, and I had a dream that there was a hand coming out towards my neck, like this.
Yeah.
And I opened my eyes and it was my own hand.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, and I
In fact, I think I remember you telling me about it now.
I woke up And you know when you say, "Oh, think I was half asleep, half awake," or whatever, and it must have been that. I remember looking at the hand, and it was almost like a Dementor hand. You know when it comes around the side of the train door in Harry Potter.
Because obviously it's dark, sort of.
Yeah,
dark,
it was
so
sort of slightly dark in my
like,
room, so I saw the figure. But you know when you look at things in slight darkness, and it all of a sudden looks disfigured and stuff.
Yeah.
And I woke up and like really trying to shake myself up, and my arm is like above my head, like above my face, and I'm like looking at my hand, and I was young as well, again, obviously. And I was going to say one more. Like I can't think of any like very, very like specific dreams like your sort of dream that you had, but another reoccurring dreams. And this is what happened recently. I'm saying like over the last maybe 2 years. So I've always, I've spoken to you about this recently. I always loved snakes before, and I always know you said you don't like them too much, but I keep having dreams, and they're all different, but about snakes, and it's always like there will be a snake. I will know that there is a snake somewhere around me, but it's got loose or it's escaped, and I don't know where it is. And all of a sudden, it will like slither in. Slither in like Harry Potter. No, basically, it would appear out of nowhere, and it scares me. And I had this one dream where I was like walking around this like garden place, like this royal garden place or whatever, and then in the gravel, all of a sudden, this like big snake came out of the gravel and was like by my legs. And the idea of it doesn't sound like a nightmare, but it's always the feeling of knowing there's a snake but not knowing where it is, and then it would appear from somewhere, and I'd be scared. Then there was in my own garden, my own back garden. I'd walk into my living room. We'd have our big patio door.
I found a snake in his back door.
I found a snake in my back boot. And all these, like, grey, not even like silver, like grey, fat, like almost basilisk snakes, like sort of like the Nagini in Harry Potter, like that size snake, would come out of my grass and walk and come up towards my house. And it was like I was basically being cornered, like there was no escape. And then recently I had a dream where I was in a house. It felt like a familiar house, but I can't even think of what it is now. And there was like, I was around someone's house, and they had a room dedicated to like where they kept their snake and stuff in this big cabinet. And we went to go and look at it or whatever. And as soon as I went in there, the snake looked at me, smashed the glass, and we all had to run and slam the door. Shit. And then like the snake would appear, like it would come out of a different door and stuff. And I don't know why, because I feel like it's actually
never really.
No, I've never had a fear of snakes. I think they're awesome. I've held many snakes before. I love them, but I feel like this is making me have a fear of them, and I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, because you don't want to.
I love them. I love snakes, but it's just so weird. Like I feel, you know, when people say, "Oh, like when you lose your teeth, it means you're thinking about a certain thing," and
you're worrying about money.
You're worrying about money or whatever. Yeah, like I have no idea how true that is. To me, it sounds a bit silly because I don't know. Like, where's the logic in that? I mean, there might be some sort of psychological process to it, but like it's that sort of thing. It's like it's the fear of knowing there's a snake but not knowing where it is, and then all of a sudden it comes out of nowhere. I don't know. It's just weird. Like I just keep having reoccurring dreams, but they're always a different snake dream. It's weird.
I have just thought of a reoccurring dream, not that I've had, but the one my mum's told me about that she had.
Oh right.
I don't think she'll mind me saying about it.
Let's bring her upstairs. Come on, let's
get my mum on the podcast. But it's a weird one, and she basically said that she'd had this dream, and obviously I can't. It's not my dream, so I don't know if I'm explaining it properly. But from the way that she's explained it to me, what I think it was it's almost like a big sort of circle, like spirally sort of board, and I think I don't know if maybe it's like, you know, like the ones that like they spin on game shows.
Oh, like that. Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, sort of like that, but maybe it's got a spiral in the middle. Basically, it's one of them spinning. That's it. The entire dream, just one of them spinning round and round and round, and the noise just going.
It sounds really tormenting.
And this was a recurring dream she would have when she was younger, all the time, and it's like, that happening once, that's weird, but like as a recurring dream, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
It seems very
creepy. It's
crazy,
really creepy because
and,
it's like, it's the way she explained like the noise going with it as well. And I think she said that she would wake up and her covers would almost be like twisted,
Really?
sort of round.
Oh, that's weird. Like she must have reacted to it somehow or something.
Or something like that. I don't know if I'm explaining any of that right, but that's what.
But that's the thing. It's like sometimes they say less is more. Like sometimes the more simple something is, the more cryptic and the more disturbing it can be, because something as simple as
like the dream with that statue thing.
Yeah,
I don't remember anything really happening in the dream.
You just have a vision,
darkness,
but you knew it was like
that thing there.
Yeah,
just it being there, and that was it. It wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
It was just there. That's what. If it was a dream where I was out somewhere and that thing was following me and there was more things going on. Obviously, that's still fucking terrifying.
Definitely.
But like, it's just the fact that there's nothing else to it. It was just there. That's what's like fucking weird about it, sort of thing.
Let me be my dream. Let me be your dream.
Let me be your dream. Will you be my dream?
Will you be my dream?
Will you be my dream?
Will you be in my dream?
Will you be my dream?
My dream.
This podcast has gone really quick. Guess what?
What? Is it time to rippy rop?
Rippy rop in about 5 minutes, Ryan.
I love how we were like, let's save the other part of Tiff's comment for next podcast, and that's we've literally talked about dreams.
Yeah.
Minus the part where I wasn't talking.
When
for
I
half
was
an hour.
talking about that dumb, stupid Tinder Ulse thing.
Yeah.
And then we moved on to the comments. That was after the podcast.
Half, was it? Was it
I
after the podcast?
And that was like after the podcast.
Jeez.
And I was like, right, let's move on to these dreams now, because we can't just like, oh, sorry, Tiff, well, yeah, we'll bump it on to the next one, because Billy had to talk about how much he didn't like the idea of people being on the backs of horses.
Let us know in the comments what weird dreams you've had.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm genuinely interested.
Maybe
because
we can comment on them. And
you know what we like. We get real serious when when we talk about the unknown. Me and Billy Boy get real in deep.
We'll get in there.
We'll find that crevice and we'll just slide right in.
You know what? Here's a thing that I'd thought about that I was going to ask you about. And let's, for the last 5 minutes, we'll discuss this.
Have a chat about it.
Really random, not related to anything.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
What's your thought on Nickelback?
Do you know what? And I'm not going to lie. I don't mind them.
Yeah. Guess what?
What?
Fucking same.
But there are a few songs I don't like. But I feel like because it's so well known to hate Nickelback.
Yeah.
It's almost I've almost just lived by that, just expecting to not like them.
My thought process on it is like, people don't like Nickelback because it's become a meme to not like Nickelback.
Yeah.
Literally, you could ask.
That's a good question, by the way.
This sounds really weird because we've just talked about all this stuff, and then I've suddenly gone, "What's your thought on Nickelback?" Just randomly, let's talk about Nickelback. And it's
watch everyone now listening, and you and me tonight are gonna have a dream about Nickelback.
Well,
because they're absolutely Nickelback.
Well, but basically, what it is that like it's become a thing, the in thing. It's funny. It's a joke. It's funny to not like Nickelback, but some people take that seriously. Some people are like, oh yeah, fuck Nickelback. You ask them, okay, why don't you like Nickelback? Like, because they're shit. Yeah. Okay, why are they shit? Oh, it was fucking Nickelback. Yeah. That's funny. I'm like, no, actually, they have some decent songs. Yeah. I don't love all their songs.
No.
I don't like some of their songs. I'm just like, this is a good song. But like, I don't understand where the hate comes for Nickelback. People just don't like them because I reckon it's one guy once was like, I don't like Nickelback, here's my reasons why. And then someone was like, you know what, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And then it's sort of, more and more people were like, yeah, I don't like this, don't like that about them and stuff, until it's just become a communal thing where everyone's just like agreeing, like, yeah, fuck Nickelback, but nobody's actually got any grounds for it.
I was going to make a comment on that. But I realised I will tell you after the podcast because it is so controversial. It might end this podcast.
All right.
So I'm not even going to say it publicly ever.
All right. Well,
let's rap.
Let's rap.
My name is Ryan. I'm in a dream. Will you be my man? What rhymes with dream?
Cream.
Cream pie in your. I was about.
You know. So Nickelback, yeah.
You know when you try to think of words that rhyme, I just went for cream pie and nearly said pussy in the same sentence.
Well,
I just did.
thanks for listening to the podcast.
When you're driving down the road listening to our podcast, it's time to tune in and we'll read what you've asked. I'll give you a wink if you give me a blink. Don't know what that means.
But you're the queen.
But you're the queens, let me see your dweam.
Let me do a dweam.
Guys, you can always hit us up on the Twits. You never do, but we're going to say it anyway. Find me, Ryan James Carter, at YLLIBPARMITER on Twitter.
And you can find me at Yilipalmater, which is at RYANJAMESCARTER.
Yeah, and
That's
remember...
the first time I've done that.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I always let you do it because I'm like, I'm going to fuck that up.
And also, you
podcast.
can also follow us on the Real Codcast.
The real sad podcast.
The Real Sad. I'm Real Sad Podcast on Twitter. We will always get back to you, and by always, 95% of the time it's usually Billy. But I also am on that. If you want to add us on Snapchat, feel free to guess our usernames.
Yeah,
we'll see you next
guess.
week by the seaside on a Wednesday.
Fuck off.
Hang on, whoa.
No.
That sounded like it was about to fly at me. That sounded like it was going... Remember, guys, comment down below what dreams you've had. We want to know.
Comment what dreams you've had, and also comment what you want us to talk about, because that always helps when we're stuck for ideas to talk about. That's why you sometimes get podcasts like a few podcasts ago where we ate pizza and it was shit.
We don't talk about that one though, do we?
That never happened.
Also, guys, within the month, both our parents are kicking us out of the house, so this podcast won't last for much longer. Please send us your money and your advice, and we'll see you next week.
He's porcupine, yeah.
Fuck off.